Hi guys, Luke here and welcome to another video in this series. So today what we are going to do is to apply the login functionality. However, we would like to limit it only to the director. Sorry, this should be a bloopers. My dog came to say hello. Oh, not in the lips, not in the lips. Okay, so as I was saying, we would like to limit it only for the producers to for the producers to access our site. All right, so yeah, let's see each other inside. Alright guys, so before we actually jump into the login, let's tackle our home view just a little bit because we don't want to return HTTP response anymore. So let's write down from Django shortcuts import, and we would like to get render, and now we can return render, and then we need to pass in the request. The next parameter is the path to our template, so it will be main home HTML, and this main folder I'm going to create inside of our template, so it will be next to the base HTML, and inside the main we will store home HTML, and then the third one is what we are passing to this particular template, and it has to be in the form of a dictionary. So right now it will be empty, or actually we can maybe from datetime import datetime, and let's create a variable called date today, which will give us the actual date. So we can write down date time now and then date, and let's pass this date today to the dictionary, to our template, and now we can use it by this key inside the home HTML. So let's save this file and let's actually create our main HTML, sorry, not main HTML, main folder, and inside this folder our home HTML. So main, and then inside home HTML. First of all, let's inherit from base HTML. Let's write down a block title. I'm just going to put in home, and then block content. So over here I'm going to define a div class is equal to UI grid, and before I continue working on this, I just want to explain very shortly what I want to do. I would like to split the screen by the width in two equally sized columns. So while using Bootstrap, you probably noticed that we have 12 column system. In Semantic UI, we have a 16 column system. So in order to split into equally sized columns, we need to have an 8 wide column on the left and 8 wide column on the right. So yeah, let's just do it, and we'll explain it a little bit later if necessary. First of all, we need to have a row, and inside this row we can create those divs. So div class is going to be 8 wide column, and I'm just going to copy this and paste it over here. So now we can put inside over here, let's say in H1 home, and let's add a break line, and below in H3 let's put in our date today, and this should be H3, sorry. Okay, and on the right side we will have some buttons. So first of all, let's write down maybe a button with a class of maybe just UI button, and this is going to be the password change. So this functionality we will do in probably the next video. So I'm just going to put in change password, and I'm going to close off the button, and then I'm going to add a break line and write down button class equals to UI button negative, and this is going to be for the logout, and the logout will be handled in this video. Okay, so now if we save it, go to the browser. This is where we left off the last time. Hit refresh, and here is our home, and here is our date today, and here are our buttons. So we won't worry about the styling, at least not at this moment. But yeah, you can see that we have two columns, probably from here to here, and then from here to here. And let's leave it like this for now and jump into Visual Studio Code inside of our views PY inside the movie project. So let's actually write down a new view called the login view. It will take in a request and will return render request. Then inside the main folder we will also have login HTML, and we will have an empty dictionary for now. So the first thing is to define the form, and this is going to be an authentication form imported from Django. So from Django contrib auth forms, import authentication form, okay. And now we can check if we are dealing with a post request. And if this is the case, we want to get the username and the password. So request post get username and password. So knowing this, we can create a variable user, and we need to import authenticate. So from Django contrib auth import authenticate. By the way, we can also import login and logout. And now we can write down authenticate, and as the username we can pass in the username over here, and as the password we can pass in this password over here. The next step is to check if the user is not none, but we also want only the producers to access our system. So we can write down and user is director is equal to false. Okay, and if this is the case, we can log in, pass in the request and the user. Okay, so once we have this, we can check if there's a next in our GET request. And if this is the case, let's imagine we want to go to the download section, but the download section requires authentication. So it will bring us to the login. And once we provide the credentials and successfully log in into the system, we can be taken to the home. But it would be more convenient if we could be taken to the place where we wanted to go, so to the download section. And this is something that we are going to do right now with the logic that we are going to write below this login. And if you feel confused because of my poor explanation, we will test this out in just a second. So hopefully you will know what I mean by writing this functionality. Why is it important? So let's check if the request get next, if there is this next value, and if this is the case, we want to return redirect. So we need to import redirect, and we want to be redirected wherever the value of this next is. So we can write down request get and then the next. Okay, and in other case, let's just return and redirect, and let's just look up the name of our home view. It's home view, so I'm just going to copy this and paste it over here. All right, so the final thing over here is to pass in the form to the template, and this should be working. We are going to test it out. However, we still need to do a couple of things. Among others, register this login view in the URLs PY. Also, we need to do some stuff in the settings. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to head over to the URLs first. Let's write down login view that we want to import, and over here let's define a new path called login, and this will be the login view. The name I will set to login, and this is it for the URLs. So now we can move to the settings. Somewhere maybe over here I'm going to write down the login URL. So by default it is, I think, accounts login, but we want to rewrite it. I'm just going to put in login and also logout redirect URL, and let's set this to login. Alright, so I'm going to save this, and the final thing is to go to the main folder, and here let's create the login HTML. So we also want to inherit from base HTML. The title will be login, and then in the block content, let's put in a form with an action of blank and a method equal to post, and also let's add a class equal to UI form so we can use the semantic UI styling, and let's close it off. And then let's add CSRF token, and inside let's pass in the form itself, and let's add a button type equal to submit. Let's also add a class of UI positive button, so it will be a green one. Let's put in login and close off the button. So yeah, let's try and test this out. So what I'm going to do is to test this out, we need one more thing, because it would be good to protect our views. So let me jump into the movie proj. I'm going to start protecting the views from the home view. So over here from Django, and then contrib, auth, and decorators. We want to import the login required decorator. Okay, and also what we want to do is to copy everything from auth to the beginning and paste it inside the views of our movies application. And instead of decorators, we will write mixins. So from contrib auth mixins, we want to import login required mixin, and let's copy it and paste it in front of the form views. Okay, and now let's save this. Let's log out, and here is our login form. So let's try to log in, and this is working. The logout functionality coming from this button doesn't work yet, so I'm going to go to the admin again, and I'm going to log out again. So over here I'm going to try to access the movies app, and as you can see, here is our next. So if we successfully log in, we should be taken to the movies. So let's do this. And as you can see, this is working. However, I don't know why we see those pointers over here, those bullets. I thought we eliminated them the last time. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this in this video. The most important thing right now is that this is working, and we can, if there would be no next, if it would be just a login. Right now we are logged in, so let me go to the admin and log out. I'm going to refresh and log in again, and we are taken to the home page. So this is working, and the final thing to test is to go to the admin again. And right now I'm going to head over to users, select my user, and I'm going to change the status from is producer to is director. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to, okay, I need to log out again. So this isn't working. I refreshed the page, and okay, so I didn't save the view, and now if I refresh, I'm taking back to the login, so everything is all right. And I'm just going to put in the username and the password, and as you can see, I'm not able to log in. So what we can do next is to add an error message, and let's set it to none. And over here, if user is not none and user is director is equal to false, what we can do is to write down else, and the error message will be set to oops, something went wrong. Are you sure you are a producer? Okay, and we can also pass this error message to the template. We can save it, go to our home HTML, and somewhere, sorry, not to home HTML, to login HTML, and somewhere over here in the blog content, let's write down if error message. Then we want to display the error message. All right, so let's save it. Let's refresh and try this out again. Oops, something went wrong. Are you sure you are a producer? All right. So before we finish off, let's go to the views and let's do the logout view. So below the login, let's write down logout view. That will take in a request, and we need to write down logout request, and then let's just write down return redirect, and let's go to the home view. It should be like this, home view. Okay, what we can do, what we can change in our settings is that maybe we would like to from the admin be redirected to the admin instead of the login. So I'm just going to put in here admin, and I'm going to save it, and this logout from the template will be to the home view. So let's bring this in. We need to go to our URL.py file and register this logout view. So I'm just going to copy everything from here, put it below, and this is going to be logout, and this should be logout as well, logout view. So I'm going to copy it, paste it over here, and the name will be logout. Alright, so now we can go to our home HTML, and here let's add a href, and then URL we want to be taken to the logout. Okay, and let's close it off. Alright, so now I'm going to save it, and let's try it again. So first of all, let's go to the admin, and here I'm going to log out, and I'm taken to the admin, so this is working, but I need to log in again in order to go to the users. And here what I'm going to do is to change the status to is producer, and here we are. So right now if I press logout, I should be taken to the login page. So this is working. Alright guys, so I think this is it. I wanted to make this tutorial as practical as possible, and I hope you learned something. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. In the next part we are going to go to our home page. We are going to log in, and we are going to take care of this change password functionality. So this is coming in the next video. Thanks for this one. Take care and have a great day. Bye bye.